A huge reason the Laker baseball team has been so successful the past 4 years is center fielder Mike Nadratowski. Tom Cleary has a profile on one of the top leadoff hitters in Laker history.
For the last few years, Grand Valley Baseball's had plenty of guys who could rattle fences with long balls. But power hitters need base runners to optimize their production. And for the last several seasons, Laker center fielder Mike Nadratowski has become a key component of that equation. The senior from Plymouth has bounced back from an early season slump in 2014 to hit .321 with 9 multi-hit games through mid-April, showing the form that's made him a 4-year regular and the GLIAC's 2012 Rookie of the Year.
I think the key for me this year has just been stay confident in myself and keep a positive attitude every day. It's something I've really been working on throughout my 4 years here, and I think this year I've done a pretty good job of that so far.
Yeah, he's definitely gotten better from last year. His career as a freshman, he didn't quite strike the ball as hard, but he was very productive, in terms of walks and keeping the ball on the left side of the field and using his speed. And as he's gotten bigger and stronger, it's turned his game around a little bit, and we're trying to keep him in the right frame of mind to keep the ball on the left side and utilize his speed a little bit. Flyouts have gone up a little bit, but any time that he goes, he's such a dynamic player. He's the type of spark plug that gets the whole offense going.
For a while last spring, it looked like Nadratowski was a little too intent on trying to hit balls into areas previously reserved for players like Jamie Potts, Kevin Zach, and Giancarlo Brugnoni, the hitters who followed him in the Laker lineup. His batting average and on-base percentage suffered until he had a few talks with Coach Jamie Detillion about the nature of his role.
Yeah, I think the conversation was more of just being the best leadoff hitter I could be and not the best hitter. I know there's times, especially after my freshman or sophomore year, where I tried to do too much and kind of went out of, what I could really do well. And so I had a lot of struggles last year, to be honest. And I went into the summer and tried to just clear my head and go back to what I did best. And I feel like that worked out for me, and I tried to carry it over here as best I could for my senior year.
By season's end, Nadratowski's average climbed back to a respectable .281, thanks in part to his willingness to ease off the throttle a bit and to think of himself more as the table setter of Grand Valley's attack. As a result of that this year, he's looking more and more like the player who hit .337 as a sophomore and helped Grand Valley make it to the Division II baseball finals, something the Lakers are pointing to again.
My sophomore year was the closest I've ever gotten, being in the national semifinal. We've won conference all 3 years I've been here, so yes, that's a goal of ours and it's great, but bigger picture, you want to make it farther than that. And I think we have it with our mentality. We have a lot of guys who've been here 4 or 5 years that know, how to win and what it takes, and just do the job the best you can, your specific job, and I think if we just stick to that, then we can go a long way.
Nadratowski into center field. It's down for a base hit. Grand Valley will score 2. They'll hold the runner at third, and Nadro has tied the game.
Well, no doubt, anytime there's speed on the bases, it presents an element of pressure on the defense. They just feel like they have to react quicker, and they're forced to do some things they aren't comfortable with at times. And anytime you get a dynamic player like Mike on base, then there's a lot of things that we can do offensively. In addition to forcing the pitcher to rush to the plate a little bit, sometimes that induces balls, just leaving balls up in the strike zone or out of the strike zone, and encouraging our two-hitter to walk. So with his element of speed, it does change the game when he's on base, and our whole process with him is getting him on base more frequently so that we can have those opportunities.
Throughout his time at Grand Valley, Mike Nadratowski has been arguably the team's fastest runner, something that makes him valuable on the bases and in the outfield. He was a Midwest Region Gold Glove recipient in 2014 and has a good view this year of Grand Valley's steadily improving pitching staff.
Our staff has been great. Pat, like you mentioned, he's a bulldog. He's one of the most confident kids I know and doesn't back down from anybody, so I don't think confidence was an issue. He has his struggles, but everybody does, and he's doing great this year. And same thing with guys like Jensen, and our bullpen has stepped it up recently, who they were actually struggling in the beginning, but they've picked it up and realized their roles, and I think they're starting to get ahead of hitters earlier in counts now that conference is underway. And as they do that, the defense stays into the game easier and games go quicker and everyone's into it, and that's what we need.
Last year, Mike Nadratowski made it through the entire season without committing an error in the field, and he followed that up this spring by handling his first 72 chances without a miscue. But the perfect finish he's thinking about now is one in which his team grabs a 4th consecutive league crown and just maybe gives Mike the opportunity to make a sure-handed catch of a national championship trophy before the season ends in late May. For the Grand Valley State Sports Report, I'm Tom Cleary.